What's good? What's good? Odd Solomon reporting. You see it? Kindness. This is gonna be the topic. This is the topic. This is what it should be about. Kindness and love. They go hand in hand. Um, I wanted to talk. I hadn't been putting my videos out there too much. I've been going my own things and my own emotional growth and things and still pains that I need to feel in order to grow more and to keep on ascending and to keep on being a better person and just and having love at my goal. But it still is hard. You go through worldly things happen, and just as well as God is great, and sometimes I got to take the time out. No matter what I'm doing in the middle of a parade, it wouldn't matter. I have to stop and just look up and say, that's why you God, and that's why I'm your servant, and that's why I'm honored. Because you'll see the things that God will put in place, and it's amazing. It's truly miraculous. And but in those same incidents, because I come from the other side of the coin, and I come from death, destruction, pain, abuse. This is where I was raised. This is that's where I started out from. This is just a byproduct of that. And I'm proud to say that now I have love in my heart and compassion, and all I want to do is help the fellow man, even if I don't want to help myself. It seems like, because I feel that when you help other people, you are helping yourself. And God's looking down on you, because you're doing it from the kindness of your own heart. But going back to God will just be so miraculous and so amazing. I gotta look up and pay homage and give love and respect. Sometimes I gotta look and say, boy, Satan, you something else. You're a coward. Don't get me wrong. But you something else. You'll put things in place that and all kind of lustful factors and money and drugs, and you'll put it there, and it's up to us to realize how cunning you are, instead of beating on our own chest and say, I did that. I made that happen. I made that drug deal go good. Oh, I made this money. I flipped this. I've been on both sides. That's not the case. The whole point is to get your soul, to make sure in these end times, and we are at the end, that he can, even more so, he has so much veracity in his attempt to get it, that he's giving these people all the things that they want and all the things that they don't need. So it's a harmful thing to watch, because I've been there. I've been at the bottom, and I can see what's going on. I can see how much hate there is in the world, but God is still present, forevermore. He's always there. He's omnipotent, omnipresent, and he's always within us in our hearts. So it's on us to make the decision that we make. Well, just to lead off into it, because this has really been coming to me in random ways and in sporadic ways, but I've seen that I'm reverting back to when I first come home. When I first come home, I had an experience that I probably shared once before, but if you're just watching me, you wouldn't know. I'm gonna reiterate what happened, and it really hurt me. When I first came home, I had love, compassion, empathy, respect, knowledge. I had everything that I wanted, or everything that I thought I needed out here to survive and to be happy. Coming from prison. And I ran across an old lady, and she was at Winn-Dixie, and she was struggling with her groceries, and her baggie was getting away from her basket. And I went to grab the basket. I almost ran a little bit to grab the basket and to help her. Well, instead of, when I looked at her, instead of being grateful, she was digging in her purse, and she was, almost coming out with the mace. So, it really made me sad, and because I respect the elderly. And don't get me wrong, some elderly are just, they're not really elderly. You have stupid old people just as well as you have stupid young people, and old souls, that's, young bodies. You get where I'm at. But, I felt like any older person that you can no longer do the physical things that you could once do, I can put kindness into the play and show you that, look, I care for you. No matter despite how I look, or no matter what you may think of me and your predispositions, as soon as you see me on sight, it still doesn't change me. I have love, compassion, and respect for all person on the planet. And all I want is good, because I know what it's like to hurt people and to be bad and to cause mayhem, and that's not where it's at. You get no fulfillment from that. You get nothing but bad dreams, nightmares, and regrets. So, it's on us to really, not take the higher road, but yeah, I'm trying to take the higher road to go to heaven. So yes, take the higher road instead of the lower road, and take the tunnels and crawling like a snake, and trying to hurt people. You should be worried about lifting your own soul out of this engagement that we are today in society and society norms and cultural norms and trends. If you don't stay up, you're behind. So you're not right, and some of us just ain't right, and I'm one of them. I'm not, and I can't be broken down because I've already been to the bottom, so I know what it feels like to cry and bang your head against the wall, and nobody cares. You have guards that walk past and say, "Hey, might just kill yourself, make it all easier for all of us," and that's the things that you hear. So all you have is yourself, and you realize after crying for 2-3 hours in the cell, beating your head and licking your own blood, that look, nobody's coming. And then you can cry out for the father, or you can cry out for the father of lies, and it's on you, whatever draws to you. And I'm just thankful to say that God saved me from a rough place, from a real dark place, to where I didn't even want to be myself anymore, and I was just ready to go. I was ready to die. And I was brought out of that pain, and I'm thankful every day that I can look around and see what's going on, and be able to be a positive factor in that. And once again, with not getting off too off base, because I've been having a lot going on. Excuse me if I'm rambling. Excuse me, but it's just so much going on, and if you're on a spiritual side and you're taking this in and you're seeing it, it's hard to witness because you're seeing the problems. I went to the French Quarters during the day. Awesome. The city's back alive again, and it was invigorating to see that. But I didn't stay for the nightlife. But that's a whole different kind of animal. So I had I was leaving with my fiance, and I seen a homeless man, a beggar. He was sleeping up right where we was walking past. He must have heard us, and he went to speaking out in languages that didn't sound normal, and it was just in rage. It was in growls, and I said, "Come on, let's go walk over there." And in talking to the man, he was a real godly man. He was just he's 57 years old. He come from California. He was he just made one too many mistakes, and then Satan just attacked him. And I'm talking about the crows are crowing while we're talking to him, and he kept on getting his attention drawn there, and it was like they were tormenting him, and they probably were. You never know what those birds were telling him in his own mind. So he's haunted, and every now and then, me and my fiance would witness the demon trying to come out of him in growls. And this doesn't scare neither one of us. And all we seen was a potential man, that's gonna lose his soul, and that we can really help and just talk to and just let him know straight up, we just love you. I know we don't look like it, but we just wanted to stop and tell you, look, here's some money, get you something to eat or something to drink. And we just love you, we just care. And we talked to him for about 40 minutes, and we left, and I hated to leave. But you have to leave those people with love and light and a kind word. And that's all you can do sometimes, and it hurts sometimes, but that's what it is. But secondly, I just wanted to talk about just a situation that really bothers me. I have an aunt, and my mom was a terrible kind of woman, and this is just being realistic and truthful. And she would beat on me, and she would harm me, and I had an aunt that would always step in, even though she was scared of her sister. And she would step in and say, "No, you can't do this." Even made up a rule that, look, you can't hit him in my house, and you can't hit his sister in my house, because she knew how abusive she was. But there was only so much she can do, because we were, her children. Well, my mom, she passed away when I had like maybe 7 years left. So she's been gone probably about 11 years. And I never got a chance to really say my goodbyes or pay my respects before death or after death. I went to the funeral, but I didn't get to stay there long, and I was in handcuffs and shackles, more judgment, from my family. But I spoke my piece then, but I never could let go. I never could talk to her. But I didn't really know. This was all unconscious. And recently I got back in touch with my aunt, the aunt that I'm speaking of, and she had two boys. And she always treated them, with utmost respect. They always had everything they want. We had to go to Red, White, and Blue, and they would get name brand thing. We wasn't jealous, but we seen what it was, and that's the kind of family. It was the polar opposite. Like I said, my mom was the good witch. She was the bad witch, and she treated her kids so good, gave her everything. And when she worked so hard for everything, didn't break no laws, barely curses or anything. And you would think that these men would be taking care of her, in her last days. And she's telling me, and it almost made me cry. She's telling me, I just want to make my last days comfortable. I don't want to bother anybody. This woman doesn't even watch the news anymore, because she said it's so violent, it hurts her heart. This is an angel on earth, at least my angel. And I just want to pay respects to her and any other elderly person that holds knowledge or love and that they can't give us because we won't let them, because we're disrespectful. And they've been living here a long time, longer than us, and they can give us knowledge if we would take care of them. That's just the factor in it. It should be kindness and respect, because you carried me through when I couldn't, when nobody could protect me. So now that you're getting elderly and frail, and you're returning back to children form, and that's what happened. You get big, you get small. They're getting back small, and they're about to make their ascent. Their bodies are giving up, and you can't be there to take care of her, to make sure she doesn't have bed bugs in her bed, or while she's laying there depressed and just ready to go, and nobody even cares. No. That can't happen. I didn't get to do it for my mom, but I will do it for my aunt, and spend every time that I have and something that I don't have with her, and just making her comfortable, letting her know that I love her, because she did a lot for me. She's not my mom, but it helps and it hurts the fact that she looks just like my mom and almost a twin. And it looks like whenever she's talking to me and she's telling me that she loves me, it's really my mom telling me she loves me. That's gone though. But it's that love you that I would want to hear, and from the face that I would want to hear it from. And sometimes I even think my mom's coming through. And it's special to me in a bunch of ways. And as I'm saying this, before I made this video, my next door neighbor said a boat rider had passed by, and I was out here and I seen him cursing, and he was like, "F you this," and I'll come around and do this, and I'm thinking he got to be talking to another boater, man, because my next door neighbor's in the 80s. But she came to me right after and she told me, "Did you hear the way he was talking to me? I was just telling him to slow down because of the tide." Now here it is. Not only that, to add insult to injury, you have 3 kids in your boat with you that's under the age of 5, and they're hearing their daddy tell this 70-something-year-old woman, 77-year-old woman without any hair on her head. Now you can tell she's old, she's all gray and frail, to F you this and say, come on, what's the world coming through? I really can't understand it for the life of me, because even though I may look a certain way, or people may have this predisposition of me, I respect all people until you show me I can't respect you. Especially elderly. Like I said, there's elderly people that just don't like because of, not because they're old, it's because they have ways that I don't agree with. But I still respect them until they curse me. Because, I mean, just because you're 75 doesn't mean you can curse me out. That's not where I'm going with it. So, you have to respect yourself for me to respect you, first and foremost. But it shouldn't have come to that. She told them to slow down. And that's just, I think the world's just in chaos and anxiety. And I know a lot about anxiety, so I can kind of, I can empathize, and I can put myself in that. And, I can really try to understand. But still, you should be able to control yourself in all areas of life, or at least try to, and that's one. It's just heartbreaking, and I'm gonna do everything that I can and still continue to be the person that I know I can be, and the man that I can be, to make an example and to lead by example. So I just want to let y'all know, man, kindness, for real, kindness, and let me cut your grass. kindness, man.